Yes, Sam, how are you feeling? Better after a 1-0 win? More professional today?
Yeah, I wasn't... When you look at the performance in itself after the way we lost against Sheffield United, doesn't look like the most convincing of wins in terms of fighting back after that loss. Felt like the goal was a little bit lucky in the first half because obviously Gio Lo Celso takes a shot, which is going to go wide, I think. Goes into the back of the net, 1-0. Yeah, attacking football-wise, hasn't been the most entertaining, if I've got to be honest. I felt like Everton were quite shocking today, apart from a few chances they had, which cost a bit of a temper loss between Lloris and Son. But overall, I guess you just have to say it's 3 points. And our only quest right now is to try and get Europa League and finish above Arsenal, I'm afraid to say.
Is that all we got to play for this season? Just pride and just don't lose the derby?
Pride, don't lose the derby. Maybe try and get Europa League whilst you're at it as well. It's just like this. I said this last interview. The season's a write-off. It's coming towards the end now where we're not having too much to play for. We've only got very little left to focus on what we can achieve.
Do you think it was a step in the right direction today in terms of performance? And obviously the result, we got the win. But do you think you're impressed with how we played, or you still think, not that impressive and we only just got a lucky own goal and, we only just got over the line? Or do you think it was a step in the right direction?
Well, you just got to look at who we played against, though. Like I said, we played against Everton, who are, well, they were only 1 point behind us before we kicked off. Everton were playing, I thought, terribly today. We're not testing us out as much as how Sheffield United were. I was very happy to see Toby Alderweireld in defence. It was what I was waiting for and calling for, and that finally happened. There was a few sketchy moments where I felt like Everton were going to take a chance after we kept on giving away free kicks, and didn't want to really underestimate Everton's ability for set pieces. So I'd say overall, though, if you take all that away, yeah, all right, we contained them well a bit, I suppose, yeah.
Obviously, there was an incident at half-time just before the break between Lloris and Son, getting into quite a heated argument, allegedly, after Son failed to adequately track back after losing possession. Anything really? Do you think it was a big moment? They came out smiles in the second half. Is it water under the bridge now?
Yeah, sorry, you're lagging there, but I managed to hear the last bit of your sentence. I remember watching that and I was quite worried because I didn't know if we would have both players carrying on in the starting 11. It looked like he got sorted in the end because they were like patting each other on the heads or shoulder, whatever. I can't remember. It's not captain-like behaviour to just charge at your teammate like that. Like, obviously, of course, there's always going to be some heated and aggro moments. But no, I don't think that was acceptable from Lloris to just push him like that and have, players coming in between. But I guess we're only going to find out more in the Amazon Prime series what really happened.
Yeah, got a few months to wait before that. But do you think it worked, whatever Lloris was trying to do? Because I thought Son had quite a good second half and he could have got a couple of goals if he was more clinical.
Yeah, look, like I said, I'm glad it got sorted. That's for sure. I'm only being critical in the terms of at the heat of the moment, you shouldn't really do things like that. Because I was already checking Twitter and there was a lot of rival fans just like laughing at that, this, that, the other. But quite clearly, it's not as bad as how people have made it out to be. But it does show that Lloris cares because I have been on his back a lot critically, thinking he's not a very vocal keeper. Well, thought that was very out of character from Lloris, just charging at Son like that and giving him a bit of a nudge, an aggressive nudge, I should add. But we're at least it shows that someone does care, and I guess it did whip Son slightly back into shape a bit. But yeah.
And do you not think it's also like that kind of feeds into the whole thing that Jose Mourinho was talking about before the game about changing the mentality of the team, and this changes over time? And do you think it was evidence of something of because maybe they wouldn't have done that a couple of years ago, Lloris and Son? Maybe Lloris would have kept quiet, but he's decided to speak up in this instance. And do you think that's an influence of what Mourinho is talking about before the match in terms of changing mentality?
it could be for a change of influence on what Mourinho said, or it's down to Hugo Lloris snapping. Like I said, could have been like quite out of character. I thought it was. Mourinho said himself as well that if it was down to him, he changed the entire starting 11 from last game, I think it was. You can't, this season, as much as you're seeing like a bit of standard negative football from Mourinho, as you probably saw this game, you can't really put too much fault on Mourinho at the moment because he's just fixing up at the moment a mess that was left behind. Yeah, but overall, though, I feel like Mourinho would have handled this situation a lot better than other managers would, I guess, especially the changed Jose Mourinho in terms of being a little bit more mellow. I feel less aggressive, less of this being abusive towards journalists or referees or trying to make another Paul Pogba incident.
Well, let me ask you something about trying to make another Paul Pogba incident, because again, Ndombele didn't get any minutes today. And he hasn't played. He played maybe only against Sheffield United. He played maybe 15 minutes in that game since the restart. Are you disappointed again not to see Ndombele get any minutes?
Look, all we know about Ndombele is that he looks like he's shredded. We've seen a photo of him with, I don't know, like shin pads in the back of his legs or something like that. Like the calves. Look, the last time I saw Ndombele play, his attitude absolutely stinked. And a lot of Spurs fans were saying that, this is not a type of player I want to see play again. And now, all of a sudden, we want to see Ndombele play again. Look, end of the day, as fickle as the opinions change, we got to remember that Ndombele played in an unacceptable manner against Burnley. And, this is down to Mourinho's judgment of what he sees him do in training, if he's seen fit to be used for a real starting 11 Premier League game. That's where it's down to. I'd like to have seen Ndombele have a go today. Although I was particularly more in favour of taking off Lo Celso and putting Vertonghen on to make a 5 at the back to see off the game. But yeah, I guess Bournemouth will be a test to see if we'll even see Ndombele play at all or not.
Yeah, I would expect you to at least play some minutes in Bournemouth. Anyway, Sam, thank you for coming on as always. Pleasure to have you on, Sam.
Thank you.